In society, there's always been this age-long comparison about people who have 9-to-5 careers and those who are entrepreneurs. While some believe that working for someone is outdated and being your own boss is awesome, others are content with their 9-to-5 jobs and are happy doing what they love, building their careers. I am Bisola Aiyeola, and on today's episode of Real Talk, I'm here at Sapa to meet with some 9-to-5ers and some entrepreneurs to discuss their different journeys and more. Let's go, guys. This promises to be really insightful and interesting. Hi Jane, hi Lala, Senior Lala to be precise. Hi Victor.
Hi,
No, I'm sure everyone will be wondering why you call her Senior Lala. Every time I'm out at a gathering and I say Senior Lala, some people go, why you call her Senior Lala? How old is she? I don't know, she's young, but based on my AMVCA win, she won 2 years prior, and then I came. So when I also, our car wins. Yeah. So I do that Senior Lala. Yeah. And it's interesting, the ladies are all in blue. Yeah. Sorry, Victor, you didn't get the memo.
It's a grand upset. It's like standing out. But it's all nice. It's all good. It's
okay. Welcome, guys. Today we'll be talking entrepreneurship and career.
Okay.
So, Jane, you fall under entrepreneurship, right? Senior Lala, where do you fall under?
I do the both. But
yeah, but you are more
entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And Monsieur Victor.
A mixture of both, actually.
You lie. You collect a 95 salary.
Well, not anymore, actually. And even while I was in 9-to-5, it was some form of intrapreneurship.
Okay.
When you're in a company, but you're still very entrepreneurial. Type of, yeah, so it's always been a mixture. Of
so you are eating your cake and having it?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Taking all the coins in.
Yes.
So I would start with Jane. Have you always wanted to be in the beauty business?
I think so.
You think so?
I learned makeup when I was 15.
Stop.
Right after secondary school. So I've always been there.
And did you start making money from it almost immediately?
Yeah, I think I finished class like on Friday. On Saturday, I had a wedding.
Oh, wow.
There was this guy that thought he would marry me then. So he hooked me up with his big sister that came from London.
Oh my gosh. How old was he?
I was old, Sha. He was not old, but
yeah.
He was over 20 at the time. So he was just like my neighbor, someone that lived on the street. And he just, told his elder sister that, she's just finished makeup, she'll do your makeup. And that's how I got my first job.
Oh my gosh.
So
did they pay?
Yeah, they paid 7,000 for white and trad.
Okay. But that's how you're a big babe now at age 15, making your money. How long ago was this? How many years?
I'm 31 now, so that was 16 years ago.
That was a lot of money.
7,000
At the time, though.
in your earn. Come on, dear. No wonder. Before we started rolling, we asked, have you ever been in a spacious state? She's like, what is that? What is that? Like, no. Since you just finished secondary school, you have been making the calls. But that's really good. So you've always wanted to be in it, and that's what you did. Did you ever work in 9-to-5?
I did assistant work after school. No, I went straight to beauty back after uni. But before uni, I didn't go to uni till like 2010. I didn't want to actually. And I did assistant job, I modeled, I did a couple of things, fashion companies, worked for, I did small stuff.
Beauty business. Proper veteran. And we do see the work. Yes, we do see it.
Thank
Senior
you.
Lala, you are everything.
Hey!
In the entertainment business. Yeah, you're in the entertainment. You do sing, you do host events, you do casting director, you do director, you do producer, you do executive producer. Only you one? Why are you taking all the monies? Because we don't want Sapa. So are you happy? Is this what you've always wanted to do?
I would say
always, like eventually, because I wasn't as clear as she was. And as a teenager, I think I was confused. And I like to say that I was the teenager that was confused. And I think it's okay to be confused at that stage, you know. All I knew was I loved to express myself. I loved to be in front of people. I loved to make things happen. But which kind of career are you going to do with those things? You know, your parents at that time, they're trying to guide you in the most professional way. So, you know, mass comm was a taboo to study. Theater arts was a taboo to study. These were departments I should have just gone into straight up. So I ended up studying insurance, which was in the social sciences, because it was the closest thing to like economics. And you know, there's always a meeting. If you do this, if you study this, you can work here, you can do this, you can, you know. And this is after I had tried to get into the University of Lagos to study English, because English also felt like something that could be a good background. But then they could only take me into English education. And then my mom is a teacher. And my mom was like, teaching is not very lucrative, as much as she loved the job. And I'm who I am today because my mom was a teacher. So I didn't get, you know, all those confusing times. So I studied insurance. But from my first year, I got into Unilag by a diploma. I knew that when I finish this certificate, I'm going to present it to the family and say, yeah. And at that time, I was singing in fellowship. In fact, people thought I would do music. You know, I was singing a lot. I was doing voiceovers. I was doing background vocals. Then I was in the choir, in fellowship, you know, and then slowly, I auditioned for a play, and I did a play in 2005, and I'm like, this is it.
I'm not letting you go.
Pretty much, that's it. And the love affair started. Of course, there were years of hunger and lack, you know, and I would also say years of paying dues, but I guess you never finish paying your dues. But when I started to do other things in the space, it was primarily because I never wanted to be hungry. And I didn't want to always have to decide on projects because of money. So I need to have power. And I need to live the life of my dreams. And girl, I got dreams. Even when I was younger. You know, so I can't sell markets. I don't know how to do trading, forwarding, importing. Help me, I don't know it.
I agree
but
with you.
But you see this storytelling thing. Everything within it is within me.
Does it?
So we're going to exploit it.
Every single sphere.
And slowly but surely, I started to break into other parts of it. And I remember something my mentor, Auntie Joke, told me early when I met her. She said, this acting business, because I started as an actor, said this acting thing is seasonal. It goes round in cycles. This year, you could be working. And 2 years, you might not find any big jobs. You have to find something that in that break, you're still working, you're still relevant, and you're still earning. See that thing she told me, Yoruba say, I put in my left hand.
That is to say, not one road leads to the market. Awesome stuff. Victor, have you always wanted to be in the tech space?
No.
I don't know why am I switching accents when I'm talking to you?
Because you know, tech.
No.
Yeah, I think it's the money that I'm smelling from across the table.
Okay.
The wealth. Aristocracy is what I am sensing.
Okay. No. That's the truth. Growing up, I was confused. I was very confused, right?
And it's okay to be confused.
Yes,
It
it's
is
okay.
very okay to be confused. And I did a lot of things. I did everything. That's the truth. Like, I've done everything apart from, like, Rob. But I've done every other thing.
Okay, just name a few. Just 3.
Okay. I used to be a professional model.
Wow.
I have acted.
See the smile.
Yes, and the high.
Yeah, I used to have a band. I used to sing.
Come on. Wow.
Yes. I sang for like 1 year professionally. Like, that's what I did to earn money and stuff. What else? I used to work in music. I was an artist manager, PR. What else? There was a point in my life where I had a fashion business with my brother. We made shoes, we made bags, and all that kind of accessory type stuff. What else? I emceed.
Orishi.
Yes. But through all that, writing was my first love. I've always written professionally since I was in secondary school. Okay. Write, get paid, actually. Okay. From the classroom. Yes. And it was small money. It was not like jail.
7,000 was small money.
It was.
then it was
Also,
a
you were
big deal
16
because
years
I bought my first kit 19K. So then 7,000.
Oh my gosh.
So they like made 300 naira, 500 naira type scenarios, right? But tech was, so I got introduced to tech really early.
Okay.
When I started using the internet and computers, I was in primary 4. So I remember when we went to Sapa cafes, my brother and I, we were like, "Where's your daddy?" He's coming, we'll sit down. Someone come back, where's your daddy? Like, he's outside. Like, that's the only way they let us use it. And so I was on the internet a lot, exploring stuff. And it was almost inevitable. But the core of what I love, what I've always done, and what I still do is storytelling. Right? I used to think about it as writing, but now I think about it as creative storytelling in different forms and formats, basically. So have I always wanted to be in tech? No. It was just an accidental thing that happened.
All right. Yeah. Jane, entrepreneur, risks. You've got staff, you've got products, your own, you put this whole business together, Flawless Beauty by Jane. What risks? What are the risks like delving into this as an entrepreneur?
If you ask me, the biggest risk so far is just managing people. The concept of, trusting them with your business, trusting that they will deliver, they see your vision, trusting that they will represent your brand the way that you want it represented. No matter how much you say to them, no matter how many training you give, they still do what their pay, covers. Yeah. So I think that would be like now I'm just realizing it. But before now, it's just, let's just make it work. But now I'm realizing that human management is the biggest problem that we have, especially as entrepreneurs here. And then other things we have is like, for example, I have the beauty company. We worry about expansion, and then you can't ship. Shipping is such a big deal. You worry about
this side.
Yeah.
In unison.
Moving, transportation is still
Logistics.
the logistics is still a huge issue for us. So you have, say, an American influencer use your brand, and then people go and like, oh, where is this brand I want to buy? And then they see you buy something of $15 and then shipping is $38. You're just going to go out of the site. I'm like, it's not it's not worth it. So we are having that issue now, but hopefully in the future things will get better. Maybe we'll have more private companies that will go into shipping properly and like just relieve of that stress. Other than that, bills is also a big issue. Electricity is such a big thing. You wake up every morning, diesel price has gone from here to there, and you still have to run business. You still have to do it. Then dealing with other people, logistics, the bills is really crazy. That one it's insane.
Senior Lala. Senior Lala, what are the risks you've experienced as, let me use entrepreneur now.
Yeah, creative entrepreneur.
Yeah.
No, the biggest one would be no guarantee of where your next meal is coming from. And you're not sure.
Can relate.
You're not sure, you're just going out on a whim. And you know that, okay, this one that I have to manage it until the next one. And it's after years of working, you know that bad as a bad, something will come. But when you're starting out, you don't know that. Who knows you? You're building your brand, you're building your name, you're building integrity, you're trying to showcase yourself. That's your focus at the time. So you actually need more people to be demanding for you, but nobody knows you. And then you have to survive. And for lack of a better word, I mean, it's not an exciting thing when I think about the creative industry here and how sometimes there's no structure. There's no 10 steps to success.
Yes.
There's no finish school, even if you studied like theater or something in that area, and then do this, and by this time you'll be working consistently. Everybody's winging it. It's why I like to share a lot of my journey. I like to share because I'm just like, I figured this thing out on my own, but I think it can be replicated. So I think the biggest risk was, and it's still a risk, where is the next meal coming from? Where's the next income coming from? Where's the next gig coming from? Which is why I try to, so there was a time when I was even using my singing to earn more than even acting, so that I could work with, but because I had a performance background. So yes, I mean, I didn't train as an actor for my first degree, but I submitted myself to theater for 5 years. So that was like my training. So I'm like very good with stage and all of that. So what I used to do then, I used to get gigs for like events and events that required performance. So if they needed singers and they wanted to create a spectacle, so, you know, banks, the end of year gigs, you know, the entrance, all the dancers you see on, those things are not flukes now. Somebody is doing it and somebody is getting paid for it. And it will still require rehearsal. It will require some level of casting. It will require, so I was working on, you know, the person that gets the gig will hire somebody else or hire somebody else. That will finally hire me. But, you know, those years I would get something. And then I was doing theater at Terra then, you know, monthly plays at Terra Culture. I mean, it wasn't paying a lot, but those gigs will come in. And, you know, they will pay me what 3 plays have not paid me. Do you understand? So those one-off things, so I would hold on to that and plan my basics. You know, when I met my husband, one thing he used to make fun of me then was, you are so precise in your calculations. And I'm like, it's the days of luck. Because one thing I know, I'm like, I know how much will fill my tank for a week, right? So I had a car quite early. But it was a head car. We bless God.
But you know how to manage it well. Yes.
So, you know, I knew how much would fill my tank for the week. I knew how much I would spend on data for the week. I did not, by the time I was sharing a flat, I didn't buy a generator. And I remember when he met me, he was like, why don't you have a generator? I said, it's not in the budget. I said, when there's no light, when there's no light, what do you do? I said, we open the window and we receive breeze. And we fan ourselves. Because sometimes you'll be talking, you know, man is toasting you. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm fanning myself. He said, you don't have light. I'm like, there's no light. It's like, you don't have a jet. I don't have a jet. Why don't you have a jet? I said, it's not in the budget. It's there. And I think he was just like, I think it kind of blew him away though, but let me.
But look at
But you know, so I was that precise with calculation. So some of those gigs, when they came, I knew that, okay, this will fill my car for 4 weeks. This will give me data for X, you know. I couldn't afford many things, and I was very honest about it. The first Gengen wig I bought, I paid for it like 3 times. And it was the only wig I had for years.
Wow.
Just long, you know. When you wear it, you go from 0 to hero in a flash. Do you get? But I knew, okay, so even if, I'll be like, so even if nothing comes in for the next 2 months, I'm going to be okay with this one. So when I get that one, I'm now intentionally positioning myself for another of that one because the income there will pay certain bills. So it's the biggest, but now I've mastered the art. It's like I'm juggling. So I know that in a year, I can say, okay, I know that I want to do 2 gigs in front of the camera as an actor. And I can budget how much that will give me. I want to produce 1 play. I know that's more of an investment than an expense. Then my casting director gigs really are the ones that put food on my table. So if I get 5 of that in a year, you know, so I understand what am I going to project more? What am I going to remind people that I do more? When I'm a producer for hire, that's also something. Yes, I've had to be intentional. If not, I wouldn't have been able to, because I always had a vision of where I was going, and I wasn't going to be seen as one raggedy creative person. And you know, there's family to prove points to. You know, you do a degree, you finish with a 2-1, and they expect, and then they are your mates that went to work in corporate Nigeria. You don't want to step outside and then, you know, they're of a certain quality of life and you're not because you chose the creative path. And I found that was the reality of many people. So those risks are there, but I knew I was not going to do a 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
I knew I was not. It wasn't for me.
Okay, so Victor, let me ask you this. A lot of people stay in their 9 to 5s because of the stability. Now, this is her now, as a creative, you know, you don't know when the next gig is coming, you have to manage your finances and all. But I've had conversations with people where they're like, you know what, starting a business is the best bet. And then someone like, you know, my 9 to 5, stability is key. I know how I will budget myself month in month. I know that in 2 years I can get a promotion and handle it. Since you are in the 9 to 5 sector, somewhat. Would you say that's a better choice as opposed to, you know, taking on the whole entrepreneurship role? Because not very many people thrive as business owners?
Excuse me. I think Lala has articulated the answer I will give you now.
Okay.
Helped me with that. To a very large extent, I believe that the nuance to this thing is knowing yourself, right? There's this broke creative narrative, where you're wearing one trouser for 3 weeks, smelling because, oh my God, it's so creative.
Yeah,
It's like, you don't bath and stuff like that. You eat when you see food,
Yes,
it is a thing.
dirty shoes, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
And I think, like Lala said, I think it's very important to know yourself, right? You know that maybe, you can't fit into the system. The system exists for a reason and it's very valid. And like Lala is saying now, this discipline thing is very important. It's possible that, you don't want to wear a suit. On the other hand, again, you're not disciplined enough financially, right? You don't know how to, be a spendthrift and all that kind of thing. You want to blow money. You can't do this thing. It's not possible. Yeah. You have to wait till the end of the month for your salary and you have to be true to yourself, right? I feel like this is a very, contextually nuanced conversation and it boils down to who are you? Who do you want to be? And yes, maybe if you want to work, if you want to leave the 9 to 5 and work like the creative path, maybe discipline yourself. Maybe learn financial management, how to manage finances and all. So I don't know that I don't know which is advisable. So, okay, there's this thing I hear, and it's with startup founders, where they're like, don't come to startups. It is hard. Very true. But I'm sitting down on my own and I'm thinking this thing has its own rewards too. It's not all pitfalls, You learn. And with startups, there's nothing like failing, basically. Even with now that people are raising a ton of money, you can't necessarily fail. You earn money, you make money, but most importantly, you learn. And moving on to whatever you're doing next, you're coming with that, learning and PTSD, of course, but like the learning, a lot of learning with it. And I'm like, well, maybe tell people, the two sides of the story, right? And tell them this thing is rewarding, but it hard small. You won't sleep. You don't have weekends, but you will enjoy. I feel like it is very good to have expectancy at the end of the month and know that this X Naira is coming at the end of the month. Sure. I'm waiting for it. But you see, this limbo can be very disorienting, and if you can't discipline yourself to do that, maybe stick with the 9 to 5.
Fantastic. Jane, now a lot of young people these days, I want to own my business, I want to own my own thing, I want to do my own stuff. But you find that they don't hit that 5-year mark, am I saying? 2-year mark.
Yeah.
What exactly do you think they're doing wrong, or what should they be doing to at least help grow their businesses?
First off, I feel like a lot of young people in business don't know they don't know anything about finance. They just see the beauty of, she's doing her own thing now. I go to her shop, you've not seen the lights, the decor, everything. I've had so many friends that their rent is more expensive than the cost of the business. Not even rent, the decor in the space. The aesthetics is more expensive than the income you make in 6 months or in 1 year.
Wow.
So many people, you are going to fail when you start. It's not a curse. It's just, you are just set up for failure. You are not going to be able to make the numbers to plan the next year. One of the things I always say is I make sure every business I own or startup can finance itself in the next 2 years. If I'm struggling to, pick money from here to put here, and then the business kicks off, and 2-3 years after, I'm still bringing money from here to put here. That means it's not almost working, or I'm not doing the right things. So a lot of people are doing businesses that they have no clue how to return investments from it. And also, nobody has a plan. For example, I want to know how many microblading I can do every month. As I'm coming, I'm thinking, if I have 4 every week, I'll make sure that 4 is constant. Then if there's extra, okay, cool, we're making extra money. How much do we need to make every month? I know how much my studio costs to run in a day. I know how much it will cost me to run it in a month. I know how much 3-bedroom apartments in my studio, this one must make minimum this amount for us to be in profit and in business. Most people don't understand that. It might also be because I've spent years doing it, but I knew from the first time I opened my shop that I need to know how much it will cost me to, maintain or even sustain the business, let alone make profits before I even started paying myself. So a lot of people don't understand these numbers. They just, start a business, use their last card, buy clothes and shoes, and then start to wear it and be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
Yes.
Don't do it because next man is doing it.
Yes.
Senior Lala,
Yes,
let's talk about raising capital for film now, because you're a creative entrepreneur. How easy or difficult is it raising capital?
It's half and half. Because you, the creative entrepreneur, you're the first capital.
Yeah.
Your name, your brand, your work. And building that is the most difficult thing to raise. Building that capital, that human capital, that trust, that bankability.
That's
Do you
it.
understand? So when he was speaking, I wanted to say that one of the advantages of a 9-to-5 that I experienced as a disadvantage was the fact that as a non-9-to-5er, I couldn't access loans. I couldn't access loans. So besides, you're even thinking, okay, I want to think big. I want to structure it. You know, this loan, I don't want to ask my friend to borrow me money. I don't want to find somebody that believes in me. Okay, they believed in you the first time, the second time. Do you understand? I want to structure this loan for this thing that I want to do. But you want to apply for a loan. They ask you to present evidence of your earnings.
Earning history.
You're earning. You don't really have something that is tangible because they don't expect you, who's not earning a consistent salary, to be asking for a loan. They ask you for things to use as to guarantee, to put down, all of those things, and it was a nightmare for me. There were times. So when I registered my company, the Make It Happen Productions, in 2013, the first production I did under my company, that was the first thing, was the V Monologues in 2014 or so. I wasn't 25 yet. Now that play, I was the executive producer and I was also acting in it. So I had to raise money for that. I begged, I borrowed, I stole. Not, borrow and steal. But I'm just telling you, I did everything. And the first thing I did was, so I like to walk backwards. Okay. So I'm like, okay, this production now, how much can I make from it? How many seats are in the theater? If I charge this amount, and I always work with half of the hall. If half of the hall pays to watch this play, this time, how much will we make? Yeah. So then I even knew early that for theater at that time, the money you make is not really attractive to sponsors. So when you're asking companies for money, you ask them as CSR, not as return on investment. Let them do it from the goodness of their hearts, not because they're expecting money back, because I can't guarantee money back. Yeah. So I had done that math and I was honest. So when I was raising money, so then the material that I would choose to put on stage has to be something endearing that companies will be willing to support. So you don't just pick a play.
What you love.
No, your emotions. No, dear. Then the people I will put inside. At that point, I was this youngest in age, youngest in name, youngest in experience, youngest in everything. But I put that play together. I had Taiwo Ajayi Lycett, Bimbo Akintola, all these people. Wow. And then I took them to raise money. So people believed in them, right? And at least they believed in me, thank God. But so I had spent years building the personal capital, the trust that, okay, a creative who is more bankable than I am can trust me. Yeah. So they believed in me and I used them. For you go and present, and I was able to partner with an NGO and we did that. I mean, I finished paying everybody like a year after. Amen.
Oh. Amen.
Yeah. A year after.
You even paid back.
I paid everybody. I didn't owe. By the time I was doing another play some years down the line, I had more sense. So what I now did was I found an organization. You also have to find people that believe in you. On this creative entrepreneurship journey, the first people that will invest will believe in you. There are also people that are not necessarily, their bread and butter is not coming from that investment, they are giving you. So I found another set of friends who ran a company and I was like, you guys want to do this thing, I'll put your logo on it, I'll do this, I have premium talent on this and that and that and that. So give me the cost of the production. Because there's nothing I hate more than owing actors, owing crew. I suffered. I never want to do it. Yeah. So I had done my budget. So I said, even if I don't make the cost back, I will owe you people back. And then I agreed, we came into like a 1 year, 2 year payback plan. So that means me, enjoyment is not my portion for that time. Any money I make, pay back. Do you get that? So they gave me, they believed in me, and they gave me the cost of the production. And I was able to pay my actors decently. And I dare say, people that work with me, I try, pay everybody, do the show, it was successful. And I think we broke even, like, boom. I said, hey, I don't want to master this thing. Do you understand? Now, for film, it's a little easier because film has projections that are trackable, unlike theater.
Yeah.
Film is more business, then there are more eyes. Distribution is big, all of those things. And you find that for film, once you do one correctly, you're good to go. You keep going and you keep reinvesting. And the people you've worked with always want to come back to work with you. But I would say it's a good way to do it also to collaborate.
Isn't that also tricky sometimes?
My sister. It's tricky. Because you have to find people who are on the same page as you. You have to find people who your relationship won't be ruined because of the collaboration. And these things, you see, you can't cheat time and experience. There's some collaborations I did in the past I would never do again. And now I know, and now I'm even more confident that if you don't want, we can say goodbye. And then there's a level of maturity you get to where you remember that we can maintain our relationship, but we'll do this collaboration and business will be clear. You are now smart. Now I'm clear with contracts. Like if you have a meeting with me by tomorrow, I'll send you an email. Following our conversation yesterday, these are the things we said. So that it's in black and white, even if you're my friend. This is my 17th year in this industry. Right? But the goal is that for somebody coming up, it should take her or him 5 years to get here. It shouldn't take them that long to get here. Also, I stumbled, I made mistakes, blah, blah, blah. So at least I can quickly tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. And then I find that, for somebody like me and a couple of people like me, I try to be intentional about paying it forward. So I try to create opportunities I didn't get for younger people, for newer people. Be intentional about putting them in the spotlight. Do a play. I did a play. I said, I want you to be the lead in this play. So I'm going to find the money to do the play just for you. I want you to be the lead. I want to put you on a poster. I want to do a short film. You want to direct. Okay, I want you to direct it, but I'll fund it. And I'll try and push it so that your career as a director can start. And you can start to earn, So I guess it's to share my experiences. Last, make we know they're hungry.
Very true. Victor, you are the one person on here, well, everybody actually, but you I'm going to focus on.
All right.
You have done 9 to 5 and also entrepreneurship. Which do you prefer?
So my 9 to 5.
He swallowed saliva. He actually swallowed saliva like.
So my 9 to 5s have been like entrepreneurship, right?
Okay.
They are entrepreneurship. So I have been lucky while working 9 to 5 to be in positions where I have liberties of people that are entrepreneurs. But I would say that I don't know that I prefer anyone. I can't lie. So I think
If you were to switch, what would it be?
I'll take entrepreneurship.
You take entrepreneurship?
Yes, from a long-term perspective, because I'm building something for myself that is going to last, right? And for that, I can make any sacrifice, I feel like I'm way past the Sapa level. That's the truth, not being modest. I am, actually.
I love it.
Yes. So it's a good thing that I'm grateful for. But a 9 to 5 makes things a lot more stable for you, So there's more mental health problems in this our generation. There's a lot of like anxiety triggers and all that kind of stuff. And you don't want to add your income and your survival to that list. Having a 9 to 5 means that at the end of the month, no matter how small the money is, that assurance, it's a mental thing.
Yes.
It's just there, waiting, If I will pick entrepreneurship, right? But a 9 to 5 has its merits too.
So Jane, if you were to pick entrepreneurship or a career, 9 to 5, which would that be? Don't look at it based on that I'm a young money, cash money. I'm making all of that, I have mastered the art.
I think when I worked for somebody, it was still very flexible. Like, we worked every day. You can work on Sunday, you can work on Monday. The day you don't have any booking or any lectures, then you take your day off. So I think I've always been working, but I would prefer entrepreneurship. Obviously, the security long term, the fact that you're building your own thing, the fact that you depend on your abilities to perform, to see, you know, how far you can go, it's beautiful for me. I don't like leaving things to people. Like, you can't control my life, you can't control my earnings, you can't control a lot of stuff. So I like the fact that I have the ability to tell myself, if you want to do this, you can do it. If it's all in your hands. So apart from the financial part, just that, you know, ability to control what the stories I want to tell, you know, how I want to be seen, how, you know, when I wake up every morning, it's beautiful.
Okay.
Time management.
9 to 5, entrepreneurship, career.
Let me tell you something. I wish that when I started out, there was a creative 9 to 5 I could have done for 3 to 5 years. I wish. I mean, and the things that are available now were not available when I was starting out. I wish I would have submitted myself to that process. I would have earned, I would have saved and planned for where I am now. I still think it's still an onokon waja, no one way.
It helped me because when I was ready to start, I didn't have to look for the money. There was already money saved up. Someone just told me, how much do you have in your account? And I told him, it's like, you can get shop in Lekki now. You can furnish it, you can do this. And he called agents, and that was how I left.
Boom.
Fantastic.
It was easier.
So I wish I had that. You know, where I could have done a 9 to 5, had some security, some structure. There's also some discipline that comes with a 9 to 5. That, you know, I had to be disciplined in myself. Doing twice the work because of how I wanted to see myself. I also had to fight, you know, image. You know, I had to be intentional about not having that broke creative, you know. And, you know, when I would dress up and go for a conference, you know, because I'm just like, and I'll find that in that space, I was the only actor there or perform, everybody that worked in a bank or something. And I'm like, people like me need to be in spaces like this because we need to learn structure. We need to learn financial, tax, all this career things, because this thing is a career as well.
It is.
You know, so I wish that, but I mean, I would never trade like where I am now. This creative entrepreneur.
You are shopping all the money.
I'm living the best.
No, not the money. See your skin, it bounce white. It's fresh and
17 years later.
It's not easy. It's a journey. Victor, what's your notion or thoughts on people who stay in their 9 to 5 careers? Do you think that it's a smart move? Do you think that they can actually also live their dreams in that 9 to 5 career?
They can live their dreams in 9 to 5, yes. It is very nuanced. But the truth is, like, this chaos that you experience in entrepreneurship, in creative, you know, work, a lot of people can't deal with it. You know, they don't have the stamina, they don't have the wherewithal, like they don't have the strength, the mental. Again, doesn't make you better or worse than them, right? It's just different strokes for different folks. Now, I tell people that, like you were saying, Lala, if you are thinking about money, right, you shouldn't go into entrepreneurship. Startups have made it easy. You know, it's now sexy. You go lie, collect money, collect big money. But truth is, it's not still like ABC. Truth is, you will still have sleepless nights. You will cry, right? And you have to be passionate about building something. Because the money feed no come, right? You have to have staying power. And if you don't have that, better stay in a 9 to 5. The truth is, a lot of 9 to 5ers are making more money than people that are doing entrepreneurship, right? And if I wanted to make money, I'll stick to 9 to 5s, right? It's just I have a lot of goals. I don't want to be the daddy that wakes up in the morning and goes and come back in the night. You've grown, no? Why did you go like this? Nope.
You want to be active in
I want to have children whenever I have children, and I want to be there. Like, I want to be father, not just daddy, or, you know.
You want to be that and not just
present. Yeah, exactly. You know, and that requires a lot of like readjustments, realignments, you know. I don't want to, waking up is very important. I wake up very early, but I don't want to wake up and I'm thinking about somebody's problem. I want to wake up on my own terms. It seems small, but it also means a lot of realignment, right? So yes, nothing wrong.
I mean, I just want to say something to that so that it doesn't seem like we're pushing this.
Exactly, entrepreneurial narrative.
Because I actually wanted to end on entrepreneurship or career. Anyone who's watching now and you're confused as to which way to go.
So I think it's still at the core who you are.
Yes.
What do you want?
Yes.
But sometimes beyond what you want, you have to do the things you don't want for a while.
Yes.
And I don't want people to feel like I have to always do it the way I want it on my terms. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because even for me, who's a creative entrepreneur, I work for myself. There are times in production, I have a 7 a.m. call time every day.
Yeah.
Means I have to wake up at 5:30. I get home at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I'm doing what I love, but that discipline. So there's still some principles that are consistent.
I mean, when we say wake up when you want, it's not necessarily that you have a 7 a.m. appointment, then you wake up by 10.
Because that's what you want. Exactly.
Why there's like comfort of, on days where you have nothing going on. When I call my friends and say, where are you? Are you at work? And they say, I say, no, I'm at home. They say, I'm not working. They say, no, you are not working because you don't have an appointment. If you have an appointment, you'll be working. And I'm like, I don't have an appointment. So now it's like, I'm clear that if I have work and I'm physically able to do it, I wake up. If it's 5 a.m., I have 4 a.m. call time sometimes. I've had one that was like 5 a.m. and I had to leave my house by 4 to get to the mainland by 5. I was knocking on the bride's door. So there's nothing that is, it's not like, wake up when.
So and sometimes you need that 9 to 5 to help you find that consistency and that structure.
And also there's something entrepreneurs forget. If you work 9 to 5 and you get paid 900K, 800, 500. A lot of entrepreneurs don't pay themselves. So they think they earn more money than someone who does 95. When I started paying myself, I started respecting all my friends that were like, I was like, your money is bigger, your salary is more than mine. So it's just that I have access to the money. I get to see the alerts coming, but it's not my money. And then you've had entrepreneurs that will make 10 million in their accounts, cash, go and buy Benz of 8 million.
But they're in debt.
Overhead it's my money, you spend it like that.
And I dare say there are successful people who have built years of work in the 9 to 5. Like they will tell you, I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm not cut out for it. People have risen ranks over 25 years, 30 years. And you can see that this person is a career person. This person, office work.
You even do career to the point where you become partner. You start
exactly.
So there's this big tech company that people stay in for long, and you see people there for like 18 years. I look at people's LinkedIn, like some people are there 18 years, 17 years. And I'm like, when this person retires, plus stock option, plus salaries, you will not entrepreneur your way to how much they have. It's not possible. Right?
Retiring well.
Without mental, without PTSD.
There's structure for them too. Healthcare, insurance. These things that entrepreneurs don't have. I insured my first car this year. Last year it was the first time I'm insuring my first car. First time I'm getting health insurance. But if you're working in,
it comes with the package.
You have all of these things free driver
for your family as well.
For
your family.
These things are benefits that we all don't.
So you're doing double the work.
Thank you very much, Senior Lala. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you very much, Victor.
Thank you, Bisola.
Thank you guys for watching. I would definitely love to hear from you. What is your take on being an entrepreneur or getting a 9 to 5 career? Let's hear from you. Positives, negatives, advantages, disadvantages. Let's hear from you guys. My name is Bisola Aiyeola, and until next time, from me to you is mwah, au revoir.